Hi everyone, today I want to do an embracing themed video. So I'm going to do a video about embracing sensitivity. The deck you can see is Myths and Mermaids Oracle of the Water. It's not a deck that I use very often. The artwork is absolutely stunning and that's probably one of the main reasons that I got it. I do tend to find the messages kind of confusing, or I just don't connect with them that much. But because sensitivity is quite, to me, it's quite a complex thing that can go in many different ways. I thought, you know what, maybe this is the deck to use for this reading. So when I talk about sensitivity, I know a lot of the times it can be seen as just being soft. I don't see it that way. I see sensitivity, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well. It's not just me. It is where you're in tune with your own emotions. You're in tune with how other people feel, and you're considerate. You consider it to yourself and you consider it towards other people. And I do feel that there is still a stigma about being sensitive. I've felt it myself. Whereas I say it's a bad thing. People can look at it as a bad thing, being sensitive. Yeah, I don't know why. I can't explain that. I'm a Libra. So I'm a strangely contradictory person where I've got a very, very sensitive side, like hypersensitive, where I can be very empathic, to the point where sometimes I need to like stay away from people because, yeah, I can feel what they're feeling and it winds me up, to be honest. But I've also been told that I do have that sort of Queen of Swords energy as well, where I can, sometimes when I say stuff, it's the truth, but it can literally cut like a knife. So yeah, there were other things I wanted to say and I've completely forgotten what they are. So yeah, I'm looking at sensitivity in terms of it being a superpower. And I think we should view it as a superpower. Yes, it can be bloody frustrating sometimes where we're just picking up on everybody else's shit, or sometimes in term when you are hypersensitive as well, and I say this based on people that I know, it can be difficult because they can be so overwhelmed because they're so sensitive that they express themselves in ways that it comes across in a way that they didn't want it to, and then there's friction with other people. But anyway, let's get into this reading. So this is a bit of a freestyle reading today. I'm not even, I've got an idea. I'm still not 100% sure how I want to do this, so I've got no idea what's going to come out. We'll just see. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to do a bit of freestyle with the tarot and put some oracle cards down as well. And feel free to leave your comments on how you have your experiences of sensitivity, how you feel about it, what you think of it, how you define it. Just share whatever you want to share. So looking at sensitivity, whatever we need to know at this point in time about sensitivity, how it impacts our lives, how we can use it more effectively, whatever we need to know. Okay, we have Justice and the Four of Wands, and I'll be honest, I already have no freaking idea what that means, so let's get a couple more. And I'm absolutely roasting hot today. In the UK, it looks nice and sunny and bright out there. Oh, Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah, it's a nice, bright, sunny day in the UK. I'm assuming it's roasting hot out there because I haven't left the house yet and I'm just sweating already. So, okay, let's see what else we get. So that Four of Wands and Justice, I'm classing it as like the main focal point, and then whatever comes underneath is just enhancers, I guess. Right, we have Four of Swords and Six of Cups. Okay. Right, I'm going to get some oracle cards and then I'll get clarifiers out. So I'm going to use one of the Myths and Mermaids Oracle of Water oracle cards. Okay, we've got one, which is a big blue whale. And as I say, I don't use this deck very often, so without looking in the book, I've got no idea what that means. Okay. I'm going to get a Power of Love activation card as well. And I hope, I'm praying that this makes sense because, as I said, it's kind of freestyle, so, and it's a complex subject. We've got empathy. Oh, wow. Look at that empathy. Okay, that one makes sense for sure. So that definitely fits. What's on the bottom? Commitment. That could be about committing to yourself, no matter how, no matter whatever you're going through, or how you feel, or what personality traits are coming out. Oh yeah, it does say, it says that you dedicate yourself to your beliefs. Yeah. Let's get a spirit animal oracle card as well. Moth spirit, surrender now. Okay. I mean, to me, that would be about surrendering to your feelings and who you are. Okay, let's get some clarifiers on everything now. So I'm going to clarify that Four of Wands and Justice together, first of all. We've got the Page of Cups, and that is, like, I would say that is one of the most sensitive cards in the in terms of talking about sensitivity. They are very sensitive. It's a child and they're highly sensitive, so psychic possibly as well. Shall we get more? Yeah, we'll get a couple more clarifiers for that. Of course, it drops on the floor. We have the Star, which is about healing. Okay. And let's get one more for that. Judgment. Okay, let's clarify the Nine of Wands in reverse. Strength. Get another one for that. Nine of Wands upright. That actually does make sense to me. But let's see. I did get a healing vibe from that Four of Swords straight away, to be honest. So, oh, we got the World and the Five of Cups in reverse. Four of Swords, let's clarify you. Oh God, four have come out for that. That's a lot. You know, I'm not going to take them. They all sort of fell out in reverse. But I don't think they fell out in reverse on purpose. So let's try that again. Four of Swords. That's better. We got the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay. So odd one. The Emperor. That's making me think of childhood. And with the Emperor being, he's like the father of the deck. It's making me think of, you know, when you have children where they're not allowed to express themselves and you've got a parent, it doesn't have to be the father, but you have that dominating energy where they want to suppress the child and the child's identity. And then we get the Queen of Wands, and she's all about expressing herself, isn't she? That's like the opposite. So, and then you get them, yeah, this is starting to make sense. The Moon is what's hidden. That is starting to make sense, actually. Six of Cups. And then that's the past, isn't it? That's childhood. So there might be something here about healing, healing the past. We've got the Page of, which, okay, we've got nearly all of the pages. Page of Pentacles is missing, but yeah. Okay, let's carry on clarifying. Six of Cups. I feel like this theme has come up in one of the other readings I've done. I don't know if it's the monthly, but there was something about with childhood being suppressed. I can't remember what reading it was. Let's see. The Hermit. I mean, that self-discovery, the Page of Swords, is also a card of discovery as well, isn't it, really? And then you've got the Eight of Pentacles. It is starting to come together. Oh, I've just said it's starting to come together, and we've got the Three of Pentacles on the bottom, which is about bringing things together, isn't it? Cracks me up when stuff like that happens. Okay, yeah, so I wanted to get a couple of clarifiers, or one clarifier for each of the oracle cards as well. We have the Two of Cups, the Devil. I'll get one more for that. The Five, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. that makes sense about something I was thinking about previously, but I'll talk about it after I've got everything out. And I know it's a lot of cards. I will try to do things one at a time so we're not just looking at a mess of clarifiers. Right, big blue whale, which, as I say, I have no idea what that means. Do I trust that one? Okay, try that again. One kind of fell out, but it was a drunk fall. Right. Knight of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. I'll leave it at that for now because I just don't know what that means anyway. Moth Spirit. Let's see what we get for Moth Spirit. Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Cups in reverse. We've got the Two of Wands, and we have the Four of Swords, but it came out sideways, and I'm going to leave it sideways. Not sure why, but right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the clarifiers under each card that it's clarifying, just so that we're not looking at a mess of cards. Well, it's going to be confusing for me if I have to look at that many things as well. So let's just try and move things out of the way, make life a little bit easier. How did that come out? That was like that, wasn't it? This is going to bother me because it's not very neat, but I think that's kind of sufficient. Right. Hopefully that's visually not too distracting and disturbing. So first of all, we've got the Four of Wands and Justice as a sort of central theme to the reading about sensitivity. And then we got the Page of Cups, the Star, and Judgment. The Four of Wands for me is about, it's the foundations. It's the foundations of things. I'm looking at Justice and I'm seeing, okay, the word fair is coming to mind, but I'm thinking, are your foundations fair? But that, I don't know. Are your foundations fair? Not sure what that means exactly, but that's what's coming to mind. And let's look at the clarifiers. We've got the Page of Cups, which I said was about sensitivity. We've got the Star, which can be about healing, hope, faith. It feels more like healing to me. And then you've got Judgment, which is rebirth. It can be reviewing things. That feels relevant, reviewing things and making decisions based on how you review things. I feel like it's worth reconsidering how we perceive sensitivity. Which, well, that's the main theme of the whole point of me doing this reading, is to reconsider how we view sensitivity. So that does make sense. And what's fair for us in terms of how we define sensitivity for ourselves and how we experience sensitivity. I hope that makes sense. I hope that does make sense. So we'll leave that one there. So it's redefining how we look at sensitivity, how we perceive it, how we express it. And if it's fair, the way we're doing it is fair, and the way, if people accept us and our sensitivity, is that fair? You know what I'm getting with this is, I'm getting resistance. I'm getting resistance with this Nine of Wands. I know upright Nine of Wands is it's where you're going through a lot, or you've been through a lot and you're still standing, for me. But this feels like resistance. That's an odd one. Strength, that's where you have to show strength, and then you've got it upright here, so that's where it's when this particular version of the Nine of Wands, or the ones that look like this to me, are defensiveness. And then you've got that Strength card there. You've got the Five of Cups in reverse. So when it's upright, it's where you're sad, where you're looking at the things that have disappointed you, that have hurt you, you're in your feelings basically. But in reverse, I mean, often people would say when it's in reverse, it's that you're coming out of those feelings, but it's feeling more like resistance here. Like resisting those types of feelings. Is this where, this may be where we resist our own sensitivity? And it does happen, doesn't it, where it's happened to me, and it's happened to people I know as well, where there are certain people in their lives that just lack compassion towards them. They're just always misunderstood. There are people that will never see their point of view. They can never put themselves in their shoes. And they get to a point where they're like, you know what, I just can't be bothered to fight against this anymore. So rather than keep going head to head with you, I'm just going to completely remove myself from the situation altogether. Not have anything to do with you. And then it can go to the extreme where people get so sick and tired of trying to be themselves, just wanting to be themselves if they're quite sensitive, and they completely withdraw from everyone and shut themselves away and just feel to themselves, you know what, everywhere I go it's always drama because people are always attacking me or they don't get me, so I just give up, I'm just going to shut myself away. And that's kind of what that feels like to me. It's where you have to put up a facade of it goes two ways. It's where your facade of strength is that you basically just shut yourself away from everyone, so you feel that that's how you're being strong, is by shutting yourself away from everyone. But and it's obviously it's tough, isn't it, going head to head with people all the time. Nobody wants to have to do that, but is that fair to you, having to do that, having to shut yourself away? I mean, obviously there are some people in your life who they treat you in such a toxic way that it's literally just not worth it. But then if you get to the point where you completely have to cut yourself off from everyone, is that fair? And I don't know what the answer is for how you handle that. I mean, I guess people say, oh, you just have to have more self-love and you have to have more confidence. But it's not that simple, especially if you've got childhood wounds that have impacted your whole childhood, teenagehood, adult life. How do you overcome those kind of feelings of low self-esteem and feeling misunderstood? It's not something where you can snap your fingers and just come out of it, is it? It's really tough. That went somewhere that I didn't expect it to go. I think with that world there, it would be a question of how would you come out of that if that's something that you're going through? How would you come out of that feeling of, I just can't anymore, I just want to shut myself away because no one gets me? Okay, that was a bit, as I say, that was a bit darker than I expected it to get. Let's put that back there. Right, so Four of Swords. I mean, that could be where you shut yourself away from everyone because you feel like that's the only way you can have any peace is by shutting yourself away. So yeah, this was the energy that I picked up on, wasn't it? So the Page of Wands for me is it's a child who's very enthusiastic. They're open-minded. They're ready to explore. They're always ready for a new adventure. They can be eccentric. They're expressive, but in reverse, it's suppressed. And as I said, you've got the Emperor there. That's the oppressive, dominating energy. It doesn't have to be a man. It might not even be one person. It might be society. As I said, I feel like, I know there are a lot more people now coming out talking about their feelings, but I feel like there is still a stigma to being sensitive. I mean, you only have to look at YouTube comments on the internet where people are calling people snowflakes every 2 bloody seconds for having an opinion about something. So yeah, that's what I'm getting from that. And then, as I say, the Queen of Wands that would be the opposite of the Page of Wands in reverse, where she's just herself. She doesn't give a shit. She shines her light. She's not afraid to do that, and she doesn't really care what anyone thinks. She's just herself. But then you've got the Moon there, so it's like you've got this Queen of Wands energy in between these things. So it's suppressed. It's like that probably wants to come out. That Queen of Wands energy wants to come out, but she's suppressed. She's hiding it. She's keeping it to herself. And the moon can be associated with fear as well. Sometimes the Nine of Wands is associated with fear. But it's, for me, it's usually about, you may have fear, but it's, I don't know, how do I explain it? It's like, say if you were in your home in the middle of the night and there's an intruder. Obviously you're terrified, but you might have like a baseball bat under your bed, and then you grab the baseball bat, like, you're terrified, but you still, you know, you've got the bat there just in case you need to use it. Don't know if that makes sense, but there you go. But yeah, as I say, it's like this suppressed energy of being able to be yourself, and this is all in terms of sensitivity, isn't it? So it's showing your true sensitive side, that you may be sort of keeping it to yourself, cutting yourself off from people because it's like no one gets it. That's your only sense of peace, is when you're on your own, shut away. Okay. With the Six of Cups there, I can't remember what's clarifying it, but that is already telling me that this is childhood related. And then we've got so many pages as well. As I say, the only page missing is the Page of Pentacles. And usually when a card, like say if you've got all the court cards or whatever, and whether it's kings, queens, pages, knights, and one of them is missing, there's a reason that's missing. And I would say that's to do with the suppression, because the Page of Pentacles is where they go out into the physical world, don't they? And they plant their seeds, their physical seeds, and it doesn't look like that's happened. Maybe you haven't been able to be yourself. That's something that could have happened. So Page of Swords is where you explore. It's ideas. So exploring ideas, beliefs, thoughts. The Hermit is inner knowledge and wisdom, and that's a journey of exploration as well. Inner knowledge. And Eight of Pentacles is well, it's work, doing the work. I'm going to get a few more clarifiers from that, because I'm trying to decide if this is where, if it's saying that we need to do the work of inner exploration to kind of get to grips with why we have these demons, well, not demons, but you know what I mean, these things within us that keep us suppressed, or if that's something that we're doing right now. Let's have a look at that. I'm getting the idea that it's saying don't fear exploring the past and how things were when you were a child, and sort of doing the inner work to get yourself past anything that you're suppressing. But let's get a couple more clarifiers for that. Oh God, we've got loads here. We have Three of Wands. Again, that's just exploration. King of Swords, okay. And Wheel of Fortune. So the Three of Wands, yeah, as I said, that's exploration. And sometimes for me, it's like where someone's standing there thinking about what's my place in the world? What do I have to give? What can I get? Just literally what can I do? What can I explore? What can I achieve? You've got the King of Swords here. This is someone who's very, I'd say, confident and stands strongly by their beliefs. Nobody's going to tell them anything. They know who they are. They know what they believe in. And all I can see is that sword here as well with the Sphinx on the Wheel of Fortune. Nobody can tell them who they are or what to think. They just stand firmly in their beliefs. And it doesn't mean they're forcing anything on anyone. It's just that no one can mess with them, really. Wheel of Fortune. Let's get one more for that. Justice again. Yeah, I think this is telling us that if it's not something we've already done, if there is an issue with us and sensitivity where we feel like we are having to repress our sensitive side, or hold back our sensitivity, then there's probably some wounding there that we have to look at from childhood to get to grips with why we feel that way. And it'll take time. As I say, it's not something that you can just snap your fingers and it's done. It could be years long process. where you go back and forth looking into things and finding out why you feel the way you do. But by doing that, by doing the work, you come out more confident and stronger in your own beliefs, and then things will change where things will probably be more fair to you. People will approach you differently. You'll find it easier to deal with people who don't get you if you bother to deal with them at all. Okay, let's look at these oracle cards. So we've got empathy here. You feel and understand the emotions of another in the service of love. That's important. I mean, obviously, empathy is very important. So, Two of Cups here is where you connect with people, where you get each other. That's the type of empathy where you get each other. The Devil and the Five of Swords is where people don't get you, you don't get them. One thing that I've tried to do, and it's still a work in progress, it has helped, but it really is a work in progress, is empathy in particular with people who are difficult, or I consider to be difficult, or they are being difficult, however you want to put it, where they seem hostile towards me, where it's just really complicated and it's unpleasant energy, is understanding where they're coming from and having compassion and empathy. And I don't mean it in the sense of, like, say if somebody's had a really rough childhood and then they grow up to be a hostile, miserable, negative adult. I'm not saying that you have to accept accept their shitty behavior or make excuses for them and say, oh, poor baby, they had such a rough childhood, I can see why they want to punch people in the face every 2 minutes. No, nothing like that. Definitely stand your ground with those people, and if they take the piss, set your boundaries and everything and tell them what's what. But if you can understand why they are the way they are, put yourself in their shoes, then it makes it easier for you, if that makes sense. Like, I've had people in my life that have been, well, I think we all have, haven't we, where they've just been plain nasty to you, and you're like, I don't get it. I was always pleasant to you. I was always supportive towards you. Yes, there were times that I had to call you out on stuff because you were being nasty. But for the most part, I've been really supportive and kind towards you, and you're still just being a complete arsehole to me. What is your problem? But then I took a step back and I thought about the things that I knew about them that they told me about their past. And it's like you have empathy and compassion for that part of them. It's not that you're having empathy and compassion for the nasty side. Well, you can if you want to, because yeah, it stems from this part of them that was wounded as a child, and maybe that's the whole where the whole wounding and healing and stuff and the childhood stuff comes in here as well, because this is something you have to do for yourself as well. You know, I mean, unless you're a saint, I think we all have phases where we act like an arsehole. I do it. I'm getting better. I'm becoming less of an arsehole, I think. But there are times when I'm an arsehole and it's like, shit, why did I do that? But then I have to tell myself, there's a reason behind it. It doesn't justify the reason, and I will apologize if I've hurt someone's feelings, and I really feel that I've done something wrong. But there's a reason behind it, whether it's a childhood trait that I've picked up or whether it's something where I'm just in a bad mood. But I do have empathy and compassion for myself, where I've screwed up basically, and I'm like, this is the reason it happened. Okay, you're sorry that you did it. It wasn't great that you did it. You know, you can move on. And yeah, it's the same for other people as well. Even if they are horrible, it's not that you're excusing all their bullshit, but if they were a child who had a rough childhood, have empathy and compassion for that part of them, and remember that's why, or one of the reasons why they're behaving the way they are now. And that's something that can help you just it can help you let go of feelings of negativity towards that person, hopefully, because you understand where they're coming from, why they are doing what they're doing. I hope that makes sense. I know that I can ramble on quite a bit, but I hope that makes sense. And I notice it a lot, I have to say, in love readings. Not necessarily the ones, well, probably some that I've done, maybe, or some of the readings that I've done. But I've noticed when I've watched a lot of love readings for other readers over the years and looked in the comments, and then you get people talking about, oh, this person treated me so, you know, like if it's one where they're saying a new person's coming in, or there's a reconciliation or something, and people are venting, and I don't mean it in a negative way, I just mean it as a literal statement. People are venting about, oh, this person can stay away from me, I don't want them to come back. Obviously you are still very hurt by what you've experienced with that person, and you're entitled to feel that way and get it out of your system. But at some point you have to sort of think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to need to get past this at some point. And it can help if you think about why they might have done what they did, or just sort of put yourself in their shoes, not so that you can excuse them, but I don't know, I just feel like it helps if you try to put yourself in their shoes in some way, shape or form. And I don't know, I can't really explain it any better than that. And hopefully I'm making sense. But see them as human. I think that's the point I'm making, isn't it? After all that talking, what I'm trying to say is that they're human, and we are all human, and we all fuck up. Some people fuck up more than others, but we are human. And for whatever reason, some of us just, yeah, as I said, some of us just fuck up a lot more than others. But rather than looking at the person as a demon, whose purpose in life is to be a complete demon, there's obviously something inside them that's wounded and hurt, or they've got some sort of low self-esteem within them why they do stupid things and fuck up. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I think that might hopefully explain things. So this blue whale card, let's see, I've got no idea what this means. Let's get the book out for this. Right, 16. So I'm just going to read some of it. Ooh, that's interesting. So divination message is, oh, it's a gentle giant. Okay, it's a gentle giant. It says, use your power gently. The blue whale is the largest creature known to man with an inconceivable amount of physical power. Just the same, she is no monster, but rather a gentle giant worthy of respect and admiration. As you discover your own sources of personal power, do not forget to maintain your loving, okay, I think I know what this means, your loving disposition, and use your strength to protect the less fortunate. Only the weak are cruel. And this is exactly what I was talking about. That's what I was just saying about when people are being complete dickheads. It's because there's something in them that's weak, and it's like, to regain control, or to feel like they have power, they're cruel. Yes, it does make sense. Thank God for that, because I think I just go about the long-winded way of talking about stuff. But yeah, this is the point I was making. Only the weak are cruel. The kind and gentle will always be the truly strong. This is exactly what I was saying about the sensitivity being a superpower, because you have compassion and you understand where people come from, and that will be of more benefit to you than going around thinking that you have to be tough all the time, and, you know, be rough with people all the time, and rub people up the wrong way, and just have this facade of being hard. Yeah, okay. So that was the divination message. We've got an antithesis. Bold is beautiful. Lately, your meekness has become your weakness. You are being too passive and submissive, letting too many life opportunities slip by. It is time to embolden yourself and focus on using your strengths to their utmost potential, even if doing so feels impertinent. Remember, you are your own advocate, and you have the right to stand up for yourself and do what needs to get done. So this is where it's finding the balance, and with justice there, that does make sense. Justice has come up twice. It's finding the balance between using your sensitivity as a superpower, but not letting people walk all over you as well. Okay, it does make sense. I should have just read that from the start, and then it would have stopped me from chatting for so long. But there you go. And we have the Knight of Swords. So that's speaking your truth. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Let's get one more clarifier for that. Ten of Cups in reverse. This looks like, you know, and it was saying about the opportunities passing you by. This looks like where, okay, so maybe where you haven't, or you don't speak your truth, and then opportunities pass you by. Let's get one more for that. The Lovers and the Ace of Cups. it feels like it's where you question how you feel, or you don't sort of trust your own feelings. And that's sometimes how opportunities can pass you by. I'm just seeing this woman looking up here at the angel in the Lover's card as someone who's questioning. And then Ace of Cups is feeling, or feelings. That's the first time I've seen that like that, as if she's questioning. Okay. Right, let's look at the Moth Spirit card. So we had, I think I've mixed these up completely. I think we had the Knight of Pentacles first. Then it was the Nine of Cups, then this one, and then that Four of Swords. I don't know why I'm feeling like the Knight of Pentacles is confidence. I know that's probably not something typically associated with the Knight of Pentacles, but that's the word that is that's coming to mind with that. Again, I feel like it's confidence to trust your feelings, to trust how you feel. So it says surrender now, doesn't it? I feel like it's about trusting how you feel, where you feel like you're being too soft or too sensitive, or too emotional even. Trust how you feel. This is like limbo here. I know it's usually it can be classed as being limbo upright, but I always see the Four of Swords as more to do with healing, praying, resting than like being in limbo and not knowing what to do. For me, it's usually more to do with deep contemplation. So in reverse for me, it would be avoiding something altogether. Sideways, it feels more like limbo, where you may not trust yourself, so you're going back and forth. I mean, Two of Wands is a choice. And this can be any area in your life, anything where there are emotions involved. Okay, I'm going to get... So this is it is a bit of a strange reading, but I think, as I say, there are key points here about finding the balance between your sensitivity, how you use your sensitivity and not being walked all over. Another key point, a need to explore anything that makes you feel like you have to hold back in terms of your sensitivity, whether it's how you feel, how you express it. Looking back at whatever might be holding you back from that to overcome it so that you stand strong in your beliefs. What are the key themes are there here? Yeah, having empathy and compassion for other people when they're acting like a total dickhead, not for their benefit, for your benefit, so that you, especially as an empath, when stuff like that happens, when negative things happen with people, it really, for me, well, I can speak for myself, I don't know about everybody else, it really plays on my bloody mind. It's ridiculous. Like, there was an incident recently that happened, and it wasn't even that deep, but it played on my mind for about a week and a half, like 5-minute conversation, a week and a half. It pissed me off so much. And as I say, it wasn't even that dramatic, but it felt deep. And I think the more I tried to think, right, this is why that person said what they said, and to understand that they were clearly frustrated about stuff in their own life. That was the main thing. It was probably more to do with them being frustrated about their own life and their own situation and how things are affecting them. That was why they said the things they did. But it wasn't just I thought it straight away, but then it took days of jamming that into my own head and repeating it and saying they're frustrated about this. I had to do it every day, multiple times a day, and then eventually I think hopefully I've gotten past it now because it's doing my head in. But yeah, it was a lot of that for me, for my own benefit, for me to get it out of my head and to move past it. So yeah, I'm gonna take a Sacred Rebels card. I think that's all the key points, isn't it? Yeah. If I've missed anything, feel free to leave a comment. Let's get a Sacred Rebel card, and I don't know if this is going to help or make things more confusing, but let's have a look and see what comes up. Oh, that's too many. Oh no, that's not. That'll be fine. Seeing the true you, we get what do you feel? And I'm not going to read the messages from these books as a complete message because they are really, really long. They're great, but they are very long. Yeah, those are the two. There's one more that's come up, this one, collaborative dreaming, but it was kind of stuck in the deck, and it didn't come out properly. The ones that came out, they flipped out clearly upright. And look, she's looking into water. It's like it's a weird place to have a sofa, isn't it, on a pond, but she's looking into her emotions there. And then obviously you get the question, what do you feel? And she's looking at, is it the earth? I thought it was the moon at first, but it's the earth. Let me just see if I can pick up a few key points from the book here. You know what I've realised as well, I've got some, sometimes what I do, if I use the deck for my own personal readings, and something stands out, I put cards in the, like as bookmarks in there, and they're still in there, but it's fine. So let's look at this one, seeing the true you. See if I can pick out any key points without reading the massive message. Oh, okay, already. Sometimes we believe what others tell us. We are as though the self we see reflected back to us through their eyes is truth. That's where people may have made you feel like you needed to suppress your sensitivity. You know, like when people say, oh, you're too sensitive, which is the most annoying thing anybody can say to you. That's the key point there. Yeah, it says you have been putting rather too much faith in the reflections others have of you. Yeah, you need to pay more attention to who you see yourself as. And it's a journey. It's not just an overnight thing. It is a journey. Key point here, if you are getting confused about who you are and your motives or actions based on what others are saying or how they are responding to you, step back. In your quest to be a responsible person, you may be unintentionally taking on the feelings of others, making their reflections of you more than they are in truth. More often than not, reflections are more about the state of the reflector than what is being reflected. Let those external perceptions go. Can you just acknowledge yourself, do so, and be free? So yeah, again, that goes back to that thing of what I was just saying about understanding where people are coming from and why they're saying what they're saying. It's usually more to do with what they're going through than to do with you. Okay, let's quickly look at that what do you feel card. If I can find it. Same sort of theme about other people's opinions. Some are helpful, some are distracting from the truth. Yeah, it's just a similar theme. This one's more about making your own choices as well. But it's still that similar energy. So hopefully that reading made sense eventually, even though I went about it in a very, very long-winded way. Again, feel free to leave any comments in terms of how sensitivity impacts you, how you express it, how you perceive it in the world. That's my phone buzzing, sorry about that. Yeah, so that's all I've got to say. So thank you for watching. Take care.